Further Insights video podcast. Really excited to have the founders of the Ramble Festival on the show today, Brick and Jay, but Brandon and Jason for the formal people out there. But really excited to have you guys on, and for the folks out there to learn more about your story and kind of what's happening with the Ramble. So welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having us. We're excited to be here.
Absolutely. No, it's been awesome working with you guys and getting to know you as people and just understand what you're trying to build.
And yet you still have us here.
I know, it's really remarkable. Vice versa. So no, it's awesome to have seen an idea that you guys had evolved to where it is, and can't wait for the festival in October. But I guess to start, if you guys can just introduce yourselves and just the Ramble concept as a whole, that'd be awesome.
Sure. Why don't you start, Jay?
Sure. Jason Hubert, lifelong Maryland resident. I live in Harford County now, music fan like my entire life. I did not come from a musical family. I came from a pretty religious family, and I think at an early age that like keep music evil vibe really appealed to me. There was, like an underground, like I was getting away with something when I could listen to something other than Donna Summer or, Eddie Rabbitt, all the top 40 stuff that my parents occasionally listened to.
So that's why you wanted to put them both on the line.
I still have a soft place in my heart for Eddie Rabbitt, but I think he's not with us anymore. But yeah, always been attracted to music. And the older I got, when I started to be able to go to shows myself, I fell in love with the people. I mean, some of the best people I've met in my life have been connected with music somehow. And I think, all of us, Brick and I, for this project, feel that way about everybody in that universe. Music does something to me, on many different levels, emotionally.
I've seen you at a concert. I can attest to this.
Well, that's music and a couple other things.
Whatever it was awesome. Yeah, do that again. I was inspired.
Thank you. I say,
he is inspiring.
It's truly, no, I mean, I was like, this guy needs to be at every concert.
It's one of those things where all of those things work in concert together, and I'm 50 years old. I don't care what I look like anymore. I'm not trying to impress anybody. I go out and have a good time, and more times than not, other people have joined in, and that's a thing on the emotional level that then appeals to me. It's like now everybody's having a good time. A lot of the barriers come down, and lawyers, cops, criminals, we're all dancing side by side, and it's one big happy family for that moment. And that's something that has appealed to me from day one on the music level. So,
amen. That's
Brick
awesome.
and I tried to, we're trying to pull this off because it's at every show. That happens or can happen at every show. And when music went away, we made a pact that we were going to try and bring our share to the world. Harford County, where we're having this, needs there's not a lot of music venues, and so this is our little point on the map where we're trying to bring that kind of feeling to the area. So that's my story.
Is that, did you guys meet through music? I know your background's I think in a different industry than music, right?
Yeah.
And is your background in music at all in any way, or is this
not
you guys just organically as friends decided this makes sense now in general and try to find a way to get to a festival concept, or was it like we want to do a festival out of the gate?
Yeah. So we met through music and festivals. We actually met at Del Fest about 5 or 6 years ago.
Del Yeah.
We're part of Del Yeah. And shout out to Del Fest.
Absolutely.
And much love to Del Fest and all they do. Really great festival. In fact, it's been a big inspiration for the Ramble. So we met there. We're part of the same festival family and community of people that came together. A group called the Red Clay Ramblers that there's about 30 of us in total. And we try to get out to some shows and festivals. And Yeah, we wanted to do this festival out of the gates. We went to Peach Festival together last year, the Peach, and I had been thinking about wanting to do something for years, and some things in my life kind of became a focaling point for me to say, I think I want to do this now and it's time. So we went to Peach together, and we talked about doing this together and partnering up. I said, Jay, I'm going to do this, and I want you to partner with me. And that kind of kicked it all off.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I mean, you guys are all in on this thing, right? This has been your full-time focus, professionally and personally, since you started investing in the actual development of it. Is that right, or is it something still on the side for you guys?
So Jay still he does gig work and film and TV production and things like that, and
Cool.
he's still actively involved in that. I'm 100% dedicated now to the festival.
Gotcha.
And
What were you doing before this?
directly before, I was through hiking the Appalachian Trail,
Oh, hell
actually.
yeah. Hell yeah.
And that was a big part of the inspiration for the Ramble Festival that
Excellent.
ultimately led to this coming to life, and the seeds for it within me. And then when we brought Jay on board, we decided to partner in it. Went
Excellent.
from there with a joint vision. Before that, I was spent a lot of time, about a decade, in the corporate world, government contracting, defense, a legal background actually.
Not music festivals.
No, nothing to do with music festivals, but
Yeah.
music festivals are where my passion is. You know, the passion for me is it's not just music and music festivals. It's about creating space for people, creating community, bringing people together, and giving them the space to be free to be who they truly are, because that's when the magic happens. You know, we call the Ramble Festival, excuse me. It's not even like referred to by us anymore as a music festival. It's a community festival with a kick-ass lineup, and that's really to bring people together, and that's what the music does, and that's the real magic, and is the way that it breaks those barriers down within us that allows us to meaningfully connect with other humans very quickly and easily, because we're in such an open place to it. And that's really what the Ramble Festival has been built on, is that very idea that it's about the community, bringing people together and sharing in these amazing, ecstatic, and unique experiences together, and that just forms bonds for life.
Absolutely. I went to Bonnaroo at a very young age when it was still like a good jam band festival.
Sure.
And my friends' parents were kind enough to drive us down and let us kind of run around. But it was life changing. I mean, it was to be in a community of people that were so like minded, so kind, so generous, and just there for the pure love of music. It was really inspiring, because that's just not something I think I like. I was in the pop punk scene for a little bit, or like Limp Bizkit shows. It's not what was happening.
Right.
But my worst fear of becoming a deadhead came true, and I got Bonnaroo to thank for that. So hopefully some young kids come out to the Ramble, or some people that are trying to find themselves and can see how the music you guys have curated affects the community, and just how the music festival community operates in general. But I guess for you guys as producers, what are you hoping to accomplish now as first year festival, and hopefully with many more to come? Like as a business, what are you guys looking to accomplish?
I think as a business in the first year, just be really frank, it'd be great to break even, from a financial standpoint. But that's not the end all be all for us. I mean, that's, as any festival producer that's been around the block will tell you, you're probably not in it for the money. If you are, good luck, right? And we're finding that out already. At the end of the day, it is about building community and creating space and creating something better in the world for people in a time when we feel they need it more than ever. And we believe that in creating that community, when we bring people together, when community happens and people start to understand each other better, and when they understand each other better, there's empathy that begins to build for other people in different ways of life, and compassion and understanding, and generally we believe it makes the world a better place. And that's really what we're trying to do. I know it kind of sounds a little kitschy, but it's really what we're
great.
about.
It sounds like what we need in the world. And that can be very profitable at the end of the day. And people
That would be nice too.
when they find something they love, they latch onto it. And you guys are being very intentional about how you're promoting the festival. The things you're offering in this festival are a little bit different than what other people are doing is not just about, price gouging and getting as much money as possible, but you guys have done some interesting things, I think, in terms of, how you're pricing your tickets, and that it's all inclusive. There's no hidden fees. And just as music fans that are doing this for truly the love of the game, if you will, and not coming in as a, corporate monolith saying, hey, like, how do we put on a jam band festival to capitalize on this group of people? You're saying, how do we best serve this group of people, it seems like. So I guess, can you talk about that? Like, how are you engineering this festival and your brand as a whole to serve the needs of the community? Is it something what they need already? Is it evolving? Like, is there a physical representation on site of how you guys want this to go? Or is it really just you guys know that this is the right lineup, this is the right mix of sounds and the right, physical environment for people to have these kind of enlightening experiences? Do we know, or is it something that you guys are trying to discover through the community?
Well, there's a lot there to that answer. Yeah. I think I can say that there's a whole lot more that we don't know than what we do know. This is our first year, and we're putting it on, and we like to think we got some pretty good ideas, and we're definitely doing it because we want to change the world and make it a better place for people, and through music, through community. But we're figuring it out as we go on a lot of it. We're focusing on keeping our intentions in the right place and really trying to focus on taking care of people and elevating the entire experience for everyone, not just attendees, not just musicians or vendors, volunteers, staff, the people that work at the venue, everyone. We want to just raise the bar a little bit. And that's one of the reasons we're doing no VIP. And I think that's us putting our money where our mouth is, basically, when we're saying the primary goal is not to squeeze as much money out of people as possible. The primary goal is to bring people together. And we've had from the beginning a bit of a field of dreams approach. If you build it, they will come. And this brand, this festival, this entire experience and what we're doing isn't just about this year and what we walk away with from this year. We're taking a much bigger view and saying, hey, instead of focusing on what the bottom line is at the end of the day after this festival, let's focus on building a group of people and building a community of people that are part of this with us and come together and create the kind of experience where people want to keep coming back to and telling their friends. I tell a lot of people, and Jay and I talk about it all the time, I have no idea how many tickets we're going to sell this year. But if we can do what we're trying to accomplish this year, we'll sell out next year. I think it's really going to resonate with people. Every single thing we do, every single decision we make, the first question we ask is, how does this fit the vibe? And that's been a topic of discussion with Further Insights quite a bit, is, how things fit the vibe. And that's how most of our decisions are made. We have to balance that against the reality of what's possible and resources available and finances. But at the end of the day, we're trying to create an experience and a feeling for people. And it's not about who they see on stage as much as it is who they experience that with and doing it as a community.
No, it's interesting hearing you talk through some of this, because as a data-driven marketer, growth marketer, professionally, my viewpoint is often to go as fast as possible and learn as much as we can as quickly as possible. And in working with you guys out of the gate, we didn't have anything. There's no website, no logo, no nothing. And I just recall how many back and forth conversations we were having about, even internally, about your guys' vision for the logo, which is awesome, by the way. I want to show people your shirt. But versus, what do we need to go out there and start selling tickets? And it's always a divide, even on our own campaigns. And some clients are just like, get me leads. And some clients are like, I want to make sure this is right. And you guys really took the time, even against some of our advice at certain times, just said, we know this is going to take a little longer, but we have this vision, we want to see it through. And I think the effect of that, even for people early stage that I've talked to about the Ramble, and people that I don't even know in some cases, but like, they've met you at a concert, they've gotten the sticker, they've heard about it, people in the industry locally are supportive of it, the lineup is great, the things they're hearing about it, and the vibe that they're catching because of the brand and the actual visual art, I think, is having a major impact, I think, on how people are perceiving it. It's not just an Eventbrite page, it's with a bunch of bands. There's something more you're offering to people. So it seems like that's resonating.
I think the biggest thing we're offering, frankly, is just we're firmly committed and have been from the very beginning to be authentically ourselves. And this isn't. When we talk about the vibe and community and bringing people together and curating the lineup and all the cool things we're doing with this festival, it has never been about how do we maximize profit, what do we give to people that we think they want. That's not what we do, and you guys have seen it firsthand working in the marketing side of things with us. Is we're just going to be us and let the chips fall where they may, as it were. We just happen to think we got the right intentions behind it, and I think that resonates with people. There's very few people, let alone businesses, that are trying to make a living at things that remain true to themselves. At some point, I think people start making sacrifices as to how they present to the world and market things, and then next thing you know, you wake up and you're not sure where you started or where you're at. But we're trying to just do it a little different, and I think that's being as authentic as we possibly can. That's been really important for us.
I think at the end of the day, this is something that we've gone to music festivals most of our lives. We are trying to craft a music festival that we would want to go to as a fan, as an attendee. We're working stiffs, like it's tough out there, people can barely make ends meet, and just nowadays with the price of fuel, like getting to the festival can be a struggle for a lot of people. And unfortunately, the world we live in, everything costs money, and we want to make sure that the musicians are paid, their crew is paid. We want to make sure that the people helping us out can get paid. Like, all of that requires money and resources. But the one thing that the community has taught us is that when we all do help each other, everybody wins. And you guys, the people that are volunteering for us, like, everybody has gone above and beyond the call of duty to make something like this happen. And like Brick said, we're trying to go long term, and I'm a big fan of like the slow food movement. I think when things run their course in a natural pace, I think slow and steady wins the race. We're not trying to make a big splash and then get our 15 minutes of fame. We want to be here for the long haul. We want this to be a vehicle, a project that brings happiness, togetherness, community. At the end of the day, a lot of what makes humans tick is acceptance. Finding your tribe. Find the tribe is one of our slogans for the festival. But
it's more than a slogan. It's really what we're trying to facilitate for people.
And that's what we're hoping this thing evolves into, is it becomes one job. I know it's kind of pie in the sky, but like the first step in that direction, you're halfway there. We really believe that, and so we're doing our part to try and bring this to fruition. That it will become a community event. That musicians will want to perform there, people will want to return year after year, and they will spread the word. And that's the best marketing you can ever have, is an honest, great review from someone you trust. So we've always thought, like he said, with the Field of Dreams, if we build it right, then it will work itself out. All of that, the good stuff will find us.
Absolutely.
If we lay the foundation correctly.
Absolutely.
What's been the biggest challenge to this point overall? And we can talk about, I'm sure, a couple different things as we go, but like, what overall has been your biggest obstacle in getting to the next level here? Sleep, yeah. I understand that.
We're trying to get not just a festival off the ground in year one, but it's a small business, right? And we started with a concept last year, and really it was the beginning of the year, January, till we really got the ball rolling with you guys and further insights. And I think what Jay's saying is it's a lot of work, especially trying to keep family balls in the air and other work and gigs going. And we're doing our best, but we're trying to get out there and do it. But it's no different than any other small business getting started. We just have a very specific time frame to bring a lot of things to fruition instead of letting them play out as they will. We got to push them towards specific dates because we got a festival to put on. I would agree. I think that's probably been the toughest
Scheduling,
thing.
yeah.
The reality of it is it's been amazing, truly astounding how things have just kind of happened the way they're supposed to happen, or have fallen into place for us, and people we meet. I've never in my life felt more like I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, and that I'm on the right course, and it's an amazing experience that I've never had in quite the same way as I know that I'm having right now. And I joke with Jay, but I can't walk out of my house without meeting someone or running into something or discovering something that fits one of the holes in the whole puzzle that we're trying to put together. Mm-hmm. And that's been a really amazing experience.
That's awesome.
So we're kind of doing everything we can to push things forward and make it a positive impact with this festival and get everything done. And things have just kind of been working out the way they're supposed to, whatever that looks like.
No,